The funeral itself will start at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Something like 2,000 people will be invited to attend, but it won't, we're told, simply be a gathering of the great and the good. People from all walks of life will be invited to attend, from royalty and world leaders to representatives of the many charity organisations with which the Princess had an association, as well as celebrities and individuals with whom Diana had a special bond.
Throughout the day, beyond the crowds and the flowers at Buckingham Palace, there have been meetings to design Diana's funeral. There's no automatic protocol, and even if there were, Diana's personality suggests she wouldn't have wanted a strictly formal affair. The Queen, the Prime Minister, and above all members of the Spencer family have all been personally involved in the arrangements, which both the Palace and Downing Street insist must be a people's funeral for the people's princess. At Diana's former home, Kensington Palace, literally thousands of mourners have laid a wall of flowers, their scent hanging heavily in the air. Somehow the spontaneity and simplicity of the people's grief reflected here needs to be woven into the style of the funeral itself.
She offered hope to the young. Those who are left are old and boring and dull, and what we've lost is a glittering pride. And that's what her funeral should reflect.
It was always for the children, so she should have, like us, to be able to
maybe not have
go.
every head of state, maybe have a few kids there.
Well, yes, why not? And even if they learned a hymn to sing at her funeral, why not? That's what it's all about.
She would probably have preferred that rather than being a very formal, stiff affair, that it's one where people actually get a chance to remember her rather in happiness rather than in sorrow.
The only recent example of a funeral on the scale envisaged was that of Winston Churchill in 1965. Although Downing Street sources say we shouldn't rule out gun carriages on this occasion, the likelihood is that the militaristic traditions will be played down. The coffin will be taken in procession from St James Palace on Saturday morning, the route taking it down the Mall, across Horse Guards Parade, down Whitehall, into Parliament Square, and finally into the broad sanctuary at Westminster Abbey. Discussions are continuing on the order of service, readings and music. The event will be broadcast live on radio and television around the world, and the Palace is considering relaying it on special screens to crowds outside. After the service, the coffin will be borne in procession down the centre aisle and through the Great West Door to the hearse, from where the cortege will leave for Diana's family home at Althorp in Northamptonshire. Her brother, Viscount Althorp, was today involved in the organisation of what will be a private burial in the family vault alongside the Princess's father on Saturday afternoon. Senior members of the royal family and the Spencer family will attend the ceremony.